Hello. Hello. Welcome. Come on in. Let's start the show. You're listening to the sounds of Focus on You by Phyllis Jade. How are you doing this evening? I hope not too chilly. Welcome to Music Forward's Open Mic Fridays. I'm your host, Maya Jupiter, and I'm so excited to be back bringing you the freshest new talent from around the globe. Very, very excited for tonight. It is a very special evening. Thank you for joining us here on Twitch, and don't forget to subscribe to Music Forward here on this platform so that you never miss out. Okay, before we get started, let me tell you a little bit about Music Forward and Open Mic Fridays. Music Forward connects young people from our communities directly to the music industry via career and artist development programming designed to transform young lives, inspire careers, and champion a much more inclusive music industry. Open Mic Fridays is a performance showcase where young artists share their talent, gain exposure, and get live feedback directly from our industry experts, who both have very successful careers in music. All right, so back to tonight's show and our amazing lineup. Tonight's lineup has all of the industry picks chosen by our fantastic music industry experts throughout the season. And one of tonight's performers will be crowned the industry pick of the season. So be sure to cheer on your favorite performers. Not to mention, we've once again partnered with Sennheiser to provide professional equipment to our artists. The artist selected tonight will receive a pair of headphones, an audio interface, and a 1-hour private session with an engineer. So it's a pretty awesome prize. And now, before we get started with the performances from our amazing young talent, let's meet our industry guests. Industry guests, please turn on your cameras. First up, we have Joan Hamill, a singer-songwriter producer from Paxton Productions. Joan performs live as well as appears in commercials, on television, in films, and on the radio. She is an Emmy winner and has been nominated 5 times for Pop Entertainer of the Year by the Chicago Music Awards. Her music has been on the Grammy nominations ballot as a singer, writer, and producer, and she's also a NAMMYs nominee and an ISMA nominee. So, Joan, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Maya. I'm really glad to be here.
As a singer, songwriter, and producer, you wear many hats. So, what would you say is your favorite part of your job as a musician?
The fact that you get to wear all the different hats. Of course, singing is what I did first, and I learned to do the others along the way. And it's a great gift to be able to do them all.
Yes, absolutely. I also want to welcome Mr. Daniel Berriman. Am I saying your name right? Berriman?
Perfect.
Okay, beautiful. Senior Director of A&R at Concord Music Publishing. Daniel is a music executive with over 10 years of experience in artist management, A&R, and music publishing. He's A&R #1 singles in the UK, Ireland, and on the US radio charts, as well as having multiple top 5 and top 10 singles around the world, and multi-platinum and gold-selling singles in over 16 countries. Before taking his current position as Senior Director of A&R at Concord Music Publishing, he guided the careers of multi-platinum selling artist Snakehips. Awesome.
Yeah.
With them, he won an Ivor Novello Award for Best Song and was nominated for MMF's Breakthrough Manager of the Year Award. Snaps for that. He orchestrated the collaborations between Snakehips and some of the biggest artists in the world, including Zayn, Chance the Rapper, Her, Anderson .Paak, and many more. Daniel, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So what initially led you to a career in A&R?
I actually became an A&R through management. So I got my first job managing bands just because it was not really a job. It was finding friends that made music and, pretending to be able to do it and know what we were doing. And then slowly learned over time and eventually found myself with a real job, which is my A&R role.
Beautiful. Well, thank you both for being on the show. You may now turn off your cameras. We're going to get this show started. All right. It is a very special night tonight. But first, before I welcome our first artist, I want to remind you that the chat is open tonight. So show everybody some love in there. Let us know where you're joining from. And thank you, as always, for keeping your comments positive. Okay, coming to the virtual stage right now, we've got our first performer. Woo woo! Pascal Schrady is a singer-songwriter who grew up in Germany to American parents and now resides in Los Angeles, California. Some of his biggest influences growing up were members of his family who introduced him to everything from rock, soul to classical music. In his time in Germany, Pascal saw himself as an outlier among his peers, often feeling out of place. This pushed him to dive even deeper into his music and focus on his creativity. At 19, he began attending Berklee College of Music in Boston, and he eventually transferred to Los Angeles College of Music in Pasadena, where he majors in songwriting. Pascal wants his music to make a lasting impact on society, and he's expressed the aspiration for his songs to have the evergreen effect that the work of some of his influences has had. He is inspired by artists such as Michael Jackson and Lady Gaga, whose music has stood the test of time, and would like to follow in their footsteps. So welcome, Pascal. Please turn on your camera. Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Feeling good? Feeling great?
What?
Are you feeling great?
Yes, I'm also in LA, so it's kind of cold, but
I know it is, isn't it? Tell us a little bit about the song you're about to perform.
so I wrote this song as sort of a warning for other guys about a girl I was seeing.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Pascal Schrady.
So this song is called Devil in Disguise. She was a star at every Hollywood club. You pulled her down here on earth, now there's no star up above. She had dreams you didn't care about. You lit her for the attention, mind her or for the clout. Watch where you step on dark Friday nights. Diamonds that sparkle are sharp on the sides. Red velvet dresses and star-studded eyes are any boy's darkest desire. Every time she walks through that door, you can hear their jaws hit the floor. But don't you know that she's a devil in disguise? She's a devil in disguise. Boy, don't you believe her lies. She's a devil in disguise. Men chase her, won't let her go. You're just a line in one of her shows, and she'll erase you soon as the curtains are closed. He followed her to every Hollywood club. She gave him all the attention and the promise of love. He bought her things he couldn't dream to afford. He fell for all of her tricks, now he's no man anymore. Watch where you step on dark Friday nights. Diamonds that sparkle are sharp on the sides. Red velvet dresses and star-studded eyes are any boy's darkest desire. Every time she walks through that door, you can hear their jaws hit the floor. But don't you know that she's a devil in disguise? She's a devil in disguise. Boy, don't you believe her lies. She's a devil in disguise. Men chase her, won't let her go. You're just a line in one of her shows, and she'll erase you soon as the curtains are closed. Watch who you hurt on dark Friday nights, 'cause diamonds, they'll put up a fight.
Ooh, yes. Wow, Pascal, how you feeling?
Good.
Whoa, that was lovely. Okay, let's welcome our industry guests to turn their cameras back on again. Joan, what do you think? Oh, you're on mute. Sorry.
Well,
There we
first of all, I have to say, great choice of a shirt. We just have to start with that. It's wonderful. You know, I think one of the strengths that you really have in listening to what you did now, and as well as when I listen to your other material online, is you have really great melodies. Your lyrics support it too, which is fantastic. And I'd heard somebody say in the reel that you had submitted that, you know, you're a good fit for top 40. And I think that's true. I think you have some really great melodies. I also want to say that I really enjoyed your posts on Instagram. You're very good at being consistent in the way you present your images. And you just come across really fun, like someone we would all want to hang out with.
Thank you.
Daniel.
Yeah, it's amazing. Great to see you playing. Awesome playing. Kind of felt like the song has like a theatrical vibe, which is maybe missing from pop music today. Kind of reminds me of maybe what Rufus Wainwright was doing at some point. But yeah, awesome song, great concept. I'm not sure if I've even never heard like that type of concept before. I'm glad you explained it before playing the song. But yeah, really, really well done.
Thanks.
Gal, you have a question for our industry guest?
Yes, I do. So, Joan, you have, I read your bio and I saw that you have a lot of experience in film and TV. And Dan, I read your bio as well. And I know you've been working in publishing for a long time. So my question for both of you is, what's your advice for a young songwriter who's just starting to release their songs and doesn't have a publishing deal yet on how to get your songs in film and TV and also pitch to other artists?
Well, as far as the experience that I've had is there are groups of decision makers in film and television called music supervisors. Right. And they're the ones in general, not always, but in general are the ones who pitch your music to the different filmmakers and television shows. And so there is a group called the Guild of Music Supervisors based there in LA, and they have mixers where you could go in person and meet some of those folks and build relationships.
That's awesome. I didn't know that there was those meetings.
Yeah.
Nor did I. That's really interesting. That's good to know. Also, I think there's also companies just touching on the music and TV and film. There are companies that can rep your catalog before you do a publishing deal that just focus on sync. Obviously, sync is a part of a publishing company that you get the services of when you have a publishing deal. But before you have a publishing deal, you can find companies that will rep your catalog for sync non-exclusively. So yeah, I can maybe send some information on some of those later.
Yeah.
and Pascal, I'm going to say this to you and to everybody. Before anybody presents themselves to you as being a gatekeeper, they'll be the gatekeeper for a fee. Please don't do that. Contact me and I will talk you through making sure that you don't, give up your cash to anybody. Okay.
Beautiful. Great advice. Okay. Thank you, everybody. You may all turn off your cameras and we'll see you soon. If you came to support Pascal, be sure to show him some love in the chat. All right, coming to the stage right now, we have our next singer, songwriter, producer, vocal coach, and show curator from Chicago, Illinois. A songwriter since the age of 10, Morgan Gold has used her heavy performance background and her passion for storytelling to craft a sound that stands in a lane of its own. Since 2018, Morgan has created a unique and growing fan base through her versatile catalog. With 4 EPs, 1 album, and over 20 singles under her belt, Morgan has used her versatility to her advantage by working with a variety of artists and genres. Blending her R&B and pop influences over the years, she continues to create an atmosphere around her music that draws you into her world. So welcome to the open mic virtual stage, Morgan Gold.
Thank you guys so much. Thank
So
you for
good
having
to
me
see
back.
you again. Yes.
Good to see you
Industry
too,
beat.
Maya.
Tell us a little bit about the song you're going to perform tonight.
So the song that I'm going to perform tonight is very special because it was co-written, produced, and engineered by my fiance, 730 Skylar. And actually the studio that I'm coming to you live from is where we make all of our music. Right now, this has been the most successful song on the album so far. It's called Forgiveness. And what's ironic about this song is that me and my fiance are a very happy couple, but this song is about a relationship that's going terribly. um and you know, so it's a very fun song to sing. And the rendition that I'm going to do tonight on guitar, it's got a little bit more of like my bluesy acoustic roots to it. So I'm very excited to sing it.
All right, take it away, Morgan.
Much. Oh, oh. Yeah, yeah. The guilt on my fingertips erased. I can fix this. I know that I've been fake. Please grab my past decisions. Not trying to play the victim, no. But I sing your depiction. I was proud in all of my wrongs while you're gone. Made the changes you've been waiting on. Set the tone, dismissed my obligations, played you wrong. Oh, oh, and you kept it in you for so long. And I've seen the pain that I brought on. Girl, can you love me through it all or not? Let me take the fall, I'm to blame. Begging for forgiveness, baby, I'll be honest. Know that I've been complicated, but now I'm honest. Should've never treated these vows like an empty promise. Girl, I'll be better, I promise. I'll be honest now, ooh, girl, I'll be honest. Know that I've been complicated, but now I'm honest. Should've never treated these vows like an empty promise. Girl, I'll be better, I promise. Oh, I'll be honest. Oh, yeah, yeah. And to lose you would break me beyond repair. Let's not take it there. From now on, I'll play fair. And I'm so embarrassed the way you wear my shame. It's hard to hear all my apologies, but I'm afraid of being honest. Selfishly, I had to keep my past in private. Lay it all to rest and keep my aim on target. So can we restart it? Can we restart it? Pick me apart. Oh, girl, I'll be honest. Know that I've been complicated, but now I'm honest. Should've never treated these vows like an empty promise. Girl, I'll be better, better now. I'll be honest. Should've never treated these vows like an empty promise. Oh, girl, please forgive me, and I'll be honest. Oh, I'll be honest. Ooh, yeah. I'll be honest.
I don't even want to put my mic on or my camera on. I'm just in that. You're keeping it real tonight, Morgan.
I am.
Bringing the realness. Yep.
Spilling my heart out here.
Loved it. That was could definitely relate to that. Let's welcome our industry guests back on, please. And let's start with Daniel this time.
Morgan, that was amazing. incredible voice, love the song, but like the song's amazing, but also the performance makes it. You just like super emotive. You know where to like push it. I don't feel like you're over singing ever. And the writing's really interesting. I think the chorus, I like how it just builds even throughout the chorus, and then the verses are really nice, stripped back, simple. Um, is there a produced version that you have of that?
Yeah, so there's the produced version is what's on all platforms. I did the acoustic version tonight.
Cool. I love that arrangement. It's always a good test of a song just to strip it back and play it on just guitar, and that far succeeded the test.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Really quick, I was gonna say too, like it's interesting that you said the like produced versus acoustic, because while trying to figure this out, I discovered more jazzier chords in the instrumentation arrangement versus doing it on a DAW too. So it's interesting that you say that, because I love picking apart like arrangements and finding out what works in certain performances too. So this was a challenge tonight. I'm happy I pulled it off.
I want to hear the original. I checked out some of your stuff before, and there was like a bit of an electronic vibe to the production, right?
Yeah, a lot of the sounds that we do is very much in like the ethereal R&B realm. I mean, and like I've touched anything from acoustic guitar to EDM. But that's the fun part about music, is finding out like what style your voice likes to go with. Sometimes your voice may fight a certain kind of production too. So it's just going through the motions, seeing what works, what fits best.
That's great. I think you should record that version and put it out.
I agree.
I'm going to do that now. Thank you for that.
Of course.
Joan, your feedback.
Well, I think, Morgan, some of your strengths for sure are your I'm going to call it in the best way possible, rawness as a performer and a writer. We're right there with you in the presence of the moment. And I think that's a consistent strength in all of the stuff that I've listened to both tonight and online. And I think that's so great to have that, because sometimes there's too much fantasy in the songwriting or other things. And I feel like you're telling me a story right now. So I think that's really great.
Thank you.
I also wanted to, I took a look at your Instagram stuff, and you had an image there that I found so compelling, like you had poured paint on yourself or something. And it looks like it was gold paint, and it just sort of popped up a creative theme that you might do consistently in your posts. Is because your last name is Gold and you had gold paint on. Maybe you want to play with that thematically in your brand, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, there was pink, now we could have gold. And it could be a really compelling thread to sort of weave in your imagery of your presence online.
That's crazy that you say that too, because so the reason why we did, well, yeah, because we did the gold paint, not only because my last name is Gold, but because the debut album was called Midas. And, you know, the King Midas, everything he touched turns to gold. So that's why we were playing on that theme. I'm going to keep that in mind, because like that, I mean, you know, it's so easy. It's right there. The brand color is the last name too. So I'm definitely going to be looking for ways to explore that further.
And your sound, you know, Daniel was talking a little bit about your sound feeling, you know, electronic and that kind of a thing. And that is a sound that sync people are really looking for right now. There's a platform or free platform, and I should mention this to Pascal as well, called Mdio, MDIIO. And they list briefs on there from commercial companies, from television companies, where you could submit your recordings as consideration for some of the projects. And it's free to do, costs nothing. But it would be a good resource for you to get started in that field, because I think you're a very good fit for particularly television projects right now.
Thank you. It's definitely a goal, like for next year, is to like land at least a single. You said MDIIO.
Yes, video. Mhm.
For sure. Thank you.
Beautiful. All right, Morgan, you have a question.
So I do have a question, and even though only one of you is from Chicago, I think that both of you could answer this in your fields and locations respectively. So Daniel, for those and for anyone who's in Chicago who might not know, there's a consistent conversation that's going about the industry, the big industry players not showing as much love to cities like Chicago, because basically in the US, a lot of artists feel here that if it's not LA, New York, or Atlanta right now, then it's going to be a city that's less scouted. So I think any artist that's in a city that may not be one of those big three, it's sometimes a struggle to not only gain fans in your local area, but gain fans outside of your local area. So my question to you is, how would you say an artist should go about trying to build a fan base, not only locally, but globally and nationally, and anything that's kind of outside their comfort zone?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is, and I totally hear what you're saying, being a Windy City girl, I understand what you're saying. But I think COVID changed a lot of that. And I think so many more of us are looking for content online, concerts and that kind of a thing. And you could do a whole evening discussion on how to do online concerts. But that is something that you could do right from where you're sitting right now and reach people all across the country.
For sure, for sure.
I also think that there really are no shortcuts in this, and you have to become a hometown hero, and gradually, though, that's your core audience, and then rely on word of mouth, and that gets larger and larger and goes down to New York, and then you become known on the East Coast, and then eventually on the West Coast. You really have to think of, like, the industry is humongous, but you have to build a cottage like business of your own. You want to focus on getting fans that will really like come out for you, pay for tickets, pay for merch. You don't need that many fans at the beginning. You just need loyal ones. So I would actually, from an artist's perspective, I would really just focus in and like don't get too distracted from how big the country is, and really focus in on Chicago.
For sure, for sure. And word of mouth too is, I don't care what people say, it's always going to be the best form of advertising. So
For sure.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. If you came to support Morgan, make sure to show all your love in the chat. You can all turn off your cameras now as we welcome to the stage our next wonderful industry pick artist. Okay, he goes by the name of Holden Miller. And Holden doesn't take himself too seriously, but his music is another story. When it comes to singer-songwriters with folk and pop undertones, it takes a lot to stand out from the crowd, and Holden is up for the challenge. He creates music that holds a mirror to the experiences of other young people by approaching his songwriting without pretension. Holden is able to push the boundaries of what a contemporary singer-songwriter can look like through broad, often impressionistic interpretations of anxiety, the passage of time, and love and heartbreak. His music finds way to resonate with a wide audience, even beyond his own demographic. He creates from a place of questioning and longing, sometimes even the depths of existential anxiety, and his songwriting is his own personal form of therapy. As his quickly growing fan base continues to expand, thanks in part to an organic following on TikTok of people addicted to his covers and the samples of his songwriting shared on the platform, Holden is eager to continue sharing his craft with the world, and I'm eager to have him right now. Holden, welcome again.
Thank you.
So nice
Thank
to
you,
have
Ma.
you back. It's nice to see you.
It's good to see you again. Hello, everybody. I'm usually a believer that when you have some sort of ailment going on, you don't share with the audience because then they're looking for it. But I do have to say, I got my wisdom teeth out on Tuesday.
Oh my God.
And so if I look like a Lego, it's because of that.
Wow.
And I am sort of fighting through this to deliver this one song. So if I look like I'm struggling to get my mouth open, it's because of that.
Well, I'm a believer in naming it. I think once you name it, that's it, right?
Yeah.
Now we know we can move on.
Exactly.
So tell me what this song is about.
Okay, so I did this the last showcase, and I thought I would do it again, especially because the song is out now. But I'm doing a song called "Watching the Moon," and I think it's my favorite song I've ever written. A little backstory: I moved to LA in the beginning of 2021 after graduating and going home in the pandemic and sort of getting lost. And when I moved out here, it was also one of the spikes of the pandemic, and I was sort of just hanging out with my roommates, and like we had a small group of people, and there was this one girl that I liked, and I think because we were only hanging out with ourselves, I sort of got blinded by everything going on, and I was infatuated. And right when things started to work out, right when I thought things were starting to work out between me and this girl, she started going on dates with another guy, and it definitely crushed me. And I'm an anxious person, as you heard from my bio, and so there was this one night that another like sort of interesting part about this is that I think with like social media now, you like always know what's going on with everyone's lives. So I knew that she was, because of like her roommate posting and stuff, like I knew that she was out going on dates, like I knew when it was happening. And so it just like I got that pit in my stomach, and there was this one night that I was like so upset about it that I didn't sleep at all. I'm already an insomniac, and so this just
Oh my gosh.
catalyzed that. And
I'm ready to hear this song, Holman. I can't take anymore. I
Yeah,
can't take anymore.
Sorry.
No.
But
And you are a trooper. I could see people in the chat say, good on you for showing up, even when
Thanks.
you had your wisdom teeth out. All right.
So yeah, this is Watching the Moon. I wrote it after a night of not sleeping at all. I hope to God she's on the couch, not sleeping in his bed. If I could stop playing out scenarios like theater in my head, I could get some rest. But I know best, I'm not sleeping tonight. I hope to God his friends are home, stirring up some late night noise, so he can't help but to leave her in the bed and go hang out with the boys. But he won't, 'cause they're all alone, sleeping together tonight. Maybe she'd like me better if I had a tattoo. Maybe she's already fallen in love, and I'm just too scared to make a move. I hope to God she's driving fast down Sunset Boulevard just to get as far away from him. 'Cause love is so damn hard, and I'd come now just to rescue her. Yes, I'd travel from afar, but I'm afraid that when I got there, he would be right in the car. Whoa. Or maybe she's already fallen in love, and I'm just too scared to let her know. She doesn't even know that it's killing me. She doesn't even know that she's always on my mind. I don't even know why I like her, but I do. It Looks like tonight I'll be watching the moon till the sunrise. I hope to God she doesn't see him in the same light I see her, 'cause she'll never stray away, and we'll just be what we never were. Whoa, whoa. Or maybe she's already fallen in love, and I'm just too scared to let her know. Thank you.
Thank you. The heart. I'm stabbed in the heart. It's a song for when you're in your feelings, for sure. Play that, put that one on. Let's welcome our industry guests back. Man, Joan, what did you think?
Well, I thought it was so appropriate that he's singing a song about the moon and we can see all the stars turning behind him, shooting stars. That was appropriate. It's such an interesting choice to have you pick that song to play. When I listen to some of your other stuff online, it's very different than that. So I wonder, when you have a chance to chat with us, why you picked this particular song to present tonight. So thank you, by the way, for trooping through the surgery. I know that's not easy as a performer, because we always want to feel like we're in fighting shape. So thanks for sticking through it. I really enjoyed listening to all of your music online. I felt like it was so full of joy and so upbeat. And we were talking, some of us a little bit earlier, about Chicago being so cold right now where I am. And I felt like you sent all of this beautiful California coast sunshine infused into your music. And so I really like that about the stuff that you've created to date. And I also wanted to say that I thought you had a very nice website. You represent yourself very well. It looks professionally put together, and you get a sense of who you really are through your website.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought that song was perfect for a cold night in LA. Just as the sun's setting. And I wouldn't have known about your wisdom teeth. Great voice, really honest songwriting. Thought the lyrics were brilliant. And I'd love to hear more. I'm not familiar with your other work, but I'll go check out, and I'd love to hear more like that as well. It's really cool, like neo folk vibe.
Thank you. Joan, I'm a little confused because, like, if you take even the top song on my Spotify is like similar to this vein. Like, there are a couple like upbeat songs I have, but like most of the stuff I write is like pretty sad boy stuff. So I'm not sure what you might have, maybe you just happened to click on the couple that are a little bit more poppy. But for the most part, like a lot of the stuff I do is like this sort of singer-songwriter vulnerable stuff.
Got it. Well, and your guitar sounds beautiful.
Thank you.
That particular guitar, I'm not sure what it is, but it sounds so good with your voice.
It's a Taylor 514.
Oh, Taylor. I should have known.
514C8. Yeah, it's my baby.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Do you have a question, Holden, for the...
Sure, yeah. So I'm at a point now in my career where I'm sort of navigating some relationships with labels, and as industry professionals, I'm sort of curious where you both stand on, I don't know, I feel like lately with TikTok and everything and the rise of sort of like self-promotion, we're in a world where you can sort of sustain yourself a lot easier as an independent artist. But I'm just curious what you think of staying independent versus taking on a record deal, and like sort of the pros and cons of each of those scenarios.
Great question.
Great question.
First, I feel like I'll be long-winded on this one.
That's was gonna say it's a great question, but it's also quite a big subject, and I guess it kind of feels hard to tackle, maybe because it's really on a case by case basis.
Sure.
You can't really speak like to that in general. So I think the main things are, I guess, a blanket way of looking at it is, I don't believe the major labels are a great place to develop an artist anymore. They're a great marketing machine once you have a fan base. So I think before getting into a deal with a major label, you probably need to get it to a certain point, and a good indication of that is normally fan base, whether you've got a big TikTok following, you're selling shows, you've got a certain amount of monthly listeners on streaming platforms. And I think before that, there's some great hybrid options, mainly getting some funding from distribution companies. But the downside to that is just that you have to, manage everything yourself.
Right.
But I think you guys are probably more capable of and have a better understanding of TikTok and how to build your fan base online than a lot of the major label folks. So I think if it's working, keep going independent for a little bit longer.
Cool. Thank you. It's very helpful.
Yeah, and that's really great advice that Daniel gave you. I think the difference between major versus independent comes down to the specific deal that's offered and the people involved in it. Because I've had friends who signed major record deals and they sat on the shelf and went nowhere. And then I've had individuals who had no label support and built up a great fan base and did so much by themselves. So I think it really comes down to the individual deals, and you're always welcome to contact me because I have other folks who are experts in looking at things like that. I've been offered some very terrible deals, and I'm doing okay by myself, a house and a car and I eat. So,
It's all you can ask for, right? Well,
keep going.
Thank you so much for taking the time to listen, and it's always so nice to be here.
Yes, it's so nice
Well
to
done.
see you again. And are independent labels still a thing? I mean,
Yeah, well, that was
right?
like, I was sort of gonna follow up with that because I feel
Yeah.
like that's like the baby step before like the
Yeah.
major label is something that's a little more intimate and like
Right.
focused,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
not as
there's a lot of independent labels, and they're everything from a couple artists to a lot of artists, and it just depends on the type of music and what their distribution is. And they're the great equalizer these days is that independent artists can get their music distributed themselves, and so it removes the need that the gatekeepers at the record labels used to be the only ones to distribute, and that's just not the case anymore.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Now you can all turn off your cameras. I'm sorry I messed up the order there that you could see. If you really, really love Holden, then make sure to show your love in our chat right there on Twitch. What a great show. I'm telling you, this is a fantastic show. It is our industry picks, and coming to this stage right now is our final performer. Wonderful artist, also from Chicago. Chi-Town is in the house tonight. It is the sound of Inari. Inari is a sound that aims to move the people, whether it be emotional, mental, or spiritual movement. The goal is to make you experience his words. His music sounds like a cross between, I love this, so-called conscious rap meets hip-hop and melodic harmonies. We need a new term for that, or maybe just get rid of that term. Inari speaks on a wide range of topics like Yah himself. I'm going to have to ask you, Inari, what that means. Others around him and their experiences, all the way down to just having a good time. Being that Inari does not write profanity or derogatory terms in his art, it can be enjoyed by anyone, no matter their race, religion, age, or sexual orientation. Welcome to the stage, Inari. Hey.
Thank you for having me.
In your bio, it says a wide range of topics like YAH, yeah, like
Yeah. Yeah,
What's
that's like the prefix of the name of the true and living God, Yahweh or Yahuwah.
Oh, Yeshua. Got it.
Yeshua. Yeah.
Now I understand.
That's just a
Okay.
short term of saying basically
you.
God. So
I hear you. Okay. Thank you so much. I just got enlightened tonight. Learned some new.
amen.
It's so nice to see you. I'm excited. I heard your song in the sound check.
Thank you,
About
thank
to
you,
get
thank you. Great to
hyped.
see you too. Yeah.
What's the song about?
This song basically is about rising from for lack of better terms, taking an L or something. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, if you ever take a loss, or if you ever, you know what I'm saying, have something that's like leaves you down or in the dust, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just come back from that. You know what I'm saying? You take that energy and you put it
Beautiful.
into coming back stronger, even stronger. So, real short story. The first time I ever touched a microphone on the stage ever was in 2017, 2018.
Wow.
And basically, me and my brother was performing together, who actually passed away, but
Oh, I'm so sorry.
no, it's all good. He's resting right now. So we did this performance together, and I told him, I was like, I'm not gonna do it unless you do it with me. And so he was like, all right, let's do it. So we went on the stage, and on that stage, I was like, it's a moment where I lifted up my hands. I was like, yes. And I was like thinking, like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And so we lost that night. We lost that year. But it's like an annual open mic thing.
But
And
did
so
you really lose?
we really didn't. And so and we really didn't, because that night I went home. The night we were, pronounced as the loser, I went home and I wrote something for next year. And so I won next year. We won that title next year. So
that part.
that's exactly what the energy, the principle I was trying to embody into this song. And so after that,
Wow.
it's a song. After that, it's like a transition into the outro of this piece, and it said what I said. So it's basically like, not only did I come back, I also stamped what I said in the beginning.
There we go.
So
Whew, beautiful.
hopefully you guys enjoy it. It's kind of hype. So
Beautiful.
we on
Take it
Zoom.
away.
We not at the stage, but I want a little shoulder jig. Fire's in the chat. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be doing that
Professional
off
shoulder
camera.
jigger.
I'm
Let's
get
go.
out of here.
All right, let's go. Yeah, well, look what we have here. Glory has found its way, and now my fate hasn't been clear. After the loss of a close one, I need to regain my devotion. But it all goes in motion when I part from what I've seen, like I'm Moses. I'm born again. A new life emerges from the curses. That boy gon' win. And you step on serpents, they be lurking. Just grab my hand. Yeah. Whoa, how y'all feeling on the Zoom right now? Yeah. Listen. Justice shall be served on this fateful day. I emerged out of 1,000 deaths on this earth, yet I still come back fully versed. Look at the hearse, put them in back of the back. The murder addict has relapsed. Whoa, I know I've been dreading the fact I had to come back and attack, but justice shall be served on this fateful day. I emerged out of 1,000 deaths on this earth, still come back fully versed. Yeah, Phoenix from the ashes. Bet I'm coming back with more fire than hell. Even the pastor couldn't extinguish my actions. How would I feel knowing the code is relaxed and ain't get to the bag yet? But I'm trying to heal while your favorite rapper distracted, focused on baguettes. I might get a piece, but promise it'll never be me. The goal is beyond that. Now point where the line at. I told you I crossed in no garden, PG my assignment. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Zoom, live from Chicago. Hey. Contact, ready for combat, I'm that nightmare that you seen, waking up from your sleep. Round the corner I creep, better have your peace so you get sent to the Prince of Peace. Heaven sent where your candles bleed. Wax on, wax off. Mr. Miyagi, I'm sorry, Nari the GOAT. You see how I float, my voice hitting every note. I'm writing with gold. How many records I sold? I ain't making nothing that shows. I gotta go harder, I know, and that's just how the game goes. I've been day to day with my bros, until my bros switch and chose the other side full of lies and disrespecting my home. That's why I be moving along, top of the totem pole, my throne. From A to Z, I move with God, that's what they hate to see. If you compare me to the goats, I thank you thankfully. Look, ain't no need for imitation if you started from the basement. Show the jig, everybody move, jump, and move, hey. Okay, justice shall be served on this fateful day I emerge. 1,000 deaths on this earth, yet I still come back fully versed, yeah. And we said what we said, okay. Everybody, max energy. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Didn't you hear what I said? I'm only focused on the bread. You applying that pressure through IG. Oh, I ain't get through to you yet. Said what I said, Said what I said, shorty. Said what I said, I said what I said, okay. Didn't you hear what I said? I'm only focused on the bread. You applying that pressure through IG. Oh, I ain't get through to you yet. Said what I said, hey, said what I said, shorty, look, said what I said, I said what I said, verse 1, here we go. I don't do this for the views, don't get it confused. Top 5 that are alive, I'm not 2, 3, 4, 5 on top of the notch. I ain't told no lie, you like it or not, now bring it back. Said I'ma stop with the grass, I relapse cause I hit up 2 cup. He say he coming with the pack, then we relate to the party. Shut it down when we come around, I ain't sorry. Couple pounds on me, hit the gym for a hobby. Nari the goat, I know that's what you call me. Like a girl did, she gone with the whirlwinds. I ain't picking up the phone, no time for girlfriends. Why you looking at me wrong like it's something I did? I don't get it, please. We respect women, if you ain't with it then leave. Only on my team if you count up green or smoke it too. M dubs, I M's is W's. Real thugs, the acronym is shooters too. Big ups to Pac and Notorious too. Real love, I got a lot of something to prove. Hold on, blowing clouds to the ozone. I ain't going home till my song on. You on IG snitching on the phone. Said what I said, I ain't never wrong. No, ayy. Said what I said, 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 I said what I said. Hey, shoulder, jig, live from Chicago, let's go. 3, 2, 1, didn't you hear what I said? I'm only focused on the bread. You applying that pressure through IG. Oh, I ain't get through to you, yeah. Whoa, said what I said. Oh no, said what I said. Shorty, said what I said. I said what I said, okay. Didn't you hear what I said? I'm only focused on the bread. You applying that pressure through IG. Oh, I ain't get through to you yet. Said what I said, yeah. Said what I said, shorty. Said what I said, I said what I said. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise one time in the chat. Yeah, this is my favorite part of the song right here. I don't even know why though. Yeah. Hey, thank y'all so much. Peace and love.
Yeah. Say what you said.
Yes, say what I said. Yeah.
We're gonna hold concert.
Hey,
we got a concert here tonight.
Whole concert, a whole show.
All right, Inari closing out the show with a concert. I wish this was, I wish we were in person. Then you'd be like, Morgan, get on stage. Morgan, get on stage. Just like everybody up.
Yeah,
I'm sure we were all
yeah.
doing this in the green room.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That'll be dope. Everybody pumped up. Yep. It was a great show.
Thank you. Thank you for that. What a gift.
Thank you.
Let's invite Daniel and Joan back. Daniel, I will start with you for your feedback for the fantastic Inari.
That was amazing, Inari.
Thank you so much.
Great energy, great flow, showing off all types of different flows, I thought. Sounded amazing. I think we can all agree that we need a new favorite rapper from Chicago, especially outside of Chicago at the moment.
Facts.
So was that 2 songs? Because I wanted to reference at least the first part. I thought the beat on the first one was amazing. Love that like soulful sample in it. And that felt more like kind of a stream of consciousness, like a long verse on the first one. And so I was actually gonna say to you, like, maybe it needed a hook, but although I did enjoy it how it was, but then you came with the second one and that felt super hooky to me. You had Maya singing it straight back to you. So loved it, man. You're great.
Thank you.
That's really exciting. I'm excited to go check out more music.
That's a great note. I'm so used to performing in person that like that first part actually does have a hook. I just scream over it, like to get the crowd like hype. So like I just be like, live from Chicago, everybody jump. But thank you for that.
And I think on Zoom, like the tracks come through like a little bit quieter. But I love the beat choices and
thank you. So much.
Amazing flow, amazing writing. Well
I'm
done.
still waiting for Zoom to catch up. Come on, we need Zoom to be a music platform. All right, Joan.
Well, I just have loved everything that I've heard that you've done. You've done such great work.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate the way you present. As a singer who's been trained, I love the way that you deliver the words.
Thank you.
It's so good. I especially love in one of the songs that you had done, you had like a choir as a part of the beats. And I thought that was just so creative. And I would love to see more of that because I've not heard anybody do it quite the way that you did it. So
thank you.
With this kind of, thumbprint of God in your songs, I think that really helps bring it home a little bit. Every song's like a prayer. I'm telling you, it's great.
Wow. Thank you so much. That means a lot. I appreciate that.
Yes. Okay. If you came to support Inari, be sure to show your love in the chat. And Inari, do you have a question for our
Thank
guests?
y'all. Oh, I do have a question. So from the first round of the industry picks, so I asked what was, the difference, or what was the benefits of staying independent versus signing to a major label, or anything like that. And so I got more benefits from the the industry executives. I got more benefits on staying independent versus going with a major label. So in receiving that answer, I want to have another question to that, which is, what is the best type of distribution deal, or is there any different types?
I'm sorry, go ahead, Jen.
I would say you speak from the publisher standpoint, and I'll speak from the indie standpoint. How's that?
Sounds good.
I'm so sorry, my laptop's about to die. I'm just charging. I'm listening.
Okay.
Go ahead, Daniel.
No, Joan, go ahead, because I guess Inari's question is about distribution, so I'm not sure if I can talk about the independent publisher.
Right. Okay. So for independent distribution, there are quite a number of companies that do it in different ways for different pricing. So there are some people that will charge you each year to have your music on platforms. There are others that charge you a one-time fee, and then it's always there. And so your independent distribution is quite doable for a very reasonable price for not very much money. And, for a record company to offer distribution for you is really not enough incentive, honestly. They should be offering you more, like, we're going to advertise for you. We're going to put you in live events. We're going to connect you with bigger artists to open. So it can't be just enough for distribution, because that's something that you can do easily on your own.
Yeah, I think as the industry's evolved, the distribution options have started to be really varied. Joe makes a great point about like the structuring of the finance in terms of, do you just pay a one-off fee, or do you give them a percentage of your income? I think if you're going to give them a percentage of your income, the important thing is to get funding up front from them. And also, these distribution companies now also offer services. So again, with the structure where you give them a percentage of your income, try and get as many services as possible. The most important one probably being pitching to DSPs, so pitching for playlisting on streaming platforms.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you so much for that.
Things
Great
have
feedback.
changed so much and so quickly over these last 10 years even. So
yeah, completely.
And there's some really good resources online, Inari, about comparing the different distribution services, like CD Baby versus, other distribution folks. And you can go online and people do some pretty brutally honest comparisons of what the benefits and challenges are for each of those.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I will be checking that out.
Inari, you can turn off your camera, but you guys stay on. But not my industry guests. Okay, because I have one final question for you both. And just thank you so much, for spending your time here tonight with our artists. Joan and Daniel, what would be the one piece of advice you would give to our up and coming artists that you haven't said already?
Joan, do you want to go first?
Sure. I would say to continue to embrace your own voice in your creation, because there's only one you, there's nobody like you, and you can have influences from all different kinds of people, but to stay true to your own voice and stay the course. And contact me if you have any questions. I'm happy to be there for you.
Beautiful. Daniel.
That's great advice. Yeah, similarly, I think I really believe, and I've said it already in this hour, but like there are no shortcuts. I think a lot of times you look at these artists and they appear to blow up overnight, but there's always, 10,000 hours and more. So I really think patience and the slow build is the way to go. So I think build a strategy around that, and not just, I feel like TikTok and all this stuff is like a lottery. So don't get too distracted by it, and build a fan base, and kind of the old way, whilst still, still have a foot in the game with TikTok and this online world, but don't rely on it wholeheartedly.
Beautiful advice. Thank you.
I would say
so
one more.
much.
Mike, can I just add one more thing?
Please.
I would also like to tell the artists that you should never feel bad that this is not your full-time job. Please don't do that, because so many talented people I know have to build their career over time. And so do what you need to do to stay creative, but don't feel bad. Just keep encouraging yourself and keep building.
That's fantastic advice. Thank you both for your time and your generosity, and for your amazing advice for the artists. It was such a great night. So it was really a great pleasure to meet you both. Thank you.
Thanks, Maya.
Now both turn off your cameras.
Good job, Maya.
Thank you. Once again, my name is Maya Jupiter, and it was my pleasure to host Music Forward's Open Mic Fridays. Thank you so much for joining us, and happy holidays.